Meeting people online is more common than it's ever been before. In fact, if you meet somebody in the real world, it's almost as weird as 20 years ago when you heard somebody found love online. In this video, I want to go over some signs that you have found a narcissist online. Now, not all these are clear signs of narcissism, but what they are signs of toxicity, vanity, and immaturity, which are all directly linked to narcissism. Frankly, I want to avoid all of that, and I'm sure you do too. Number 1, they come on strong. A narcissist moves fast and furious when they come across somebody who they believe will make a valuable source of supply to them. And this is where I want to stop and say, this is a pattern of all highly narcissistic, super toxic people. This is not strictly for romantic relationships. All narcissists, whether this is a platonic relationship, romantic, whatever, they love bomb, devalue, and discard. It might be done in different ways with different tricks, but it's all the same cycle and all the same pattern, regardless of what the nature of your relationship is with this person. Most narcissists jump into the game and become extremely complimentary right from the get-go, trying to boost you up. They let you know how attractive you are, how smart you are, and they lay it on super thick. For a lot of survivors, myself included, they remember the initial love bombing phase and remember enjoying the attention, but still feeling that it was too much, too fast, too over the top, too exaggerated. They don't want to spend any time waiting for anything. Number 2, they want all of your time. This goes hand in hand with coming on way too strong in the beginning of all of this. As soon as they start chatting with you, they begin to attempt to monopolize all of your time. They text hundreds of times a day. They want to call all the time, see you every day, have you go out with them. Again, it feels nice to a lot of people in this love bombing phase, but it can seem strange that someone who really doesn't know you at all finds you to be such a novelty so quickly. Along with wanting all of your time, toxic traits can be displayed right here in love bombing, and they often are. They're just overlooked. If you don't text back quick enough, if you don't answer the phone, or say, no, you can't make it on some night to go out with them, you're not doing these things to be a dick. Now, mind you, if you're just legitimately too busy or you can't get to the phone, that's what I want to make very clear right here. You're not doing these things to them to be rude or to kind of give them the cold shoulder. You're just legitimately not getting back to them as soon as they want you to, so on and so forth. What happens is you'll get a very negative reaction from someone. I was chatting with a dude once and I guess just couldn't respond fast enough. And the response I got from him was, well, I guess I'm more into you than you are into me. It's a weird thing to say, like when you first meet somebody and you haven't responded back in the time that they think you should, when they don't really know anything about you. And this is the super toxic response that you get. So yes, wanting all of your time, but also having a negative reaction when they can't get it and trying to guilt trip you and say things like, fine, I guess you don't want to see me. Fine, I guess you don't want to go out. I called like 5 hours ago. What gives? Are you one of these people who plays games? I don't like playing games. You'll get that super negative reaction. When you don't do something fast enough for somebody and you barely know them, these are all super huge red flags. Number 3, it is nothing but a popularity contest. Social media has been around for over a decade. Way back then, even I too fell victim to collecting friends like Pokemon cards, but social media is no longer something new, exotic, and really it's not even interesting anymore. So why do people have 800 friends? Do you know 800 people? At this point in my life, I have a hard time finding 80 people I even want on my social media, let alone 80 people I would actually like in real life. Look for influxes of friends and people who just seem to pad their follower and friend counts just because. Also look for posts that are nothing more than a random humble brag. Social media is a place where we can share what's happening in our lives, but you know that you always notice the people that only post when they have that sweet vacay or they get a new car, and it's like, okay, we get it. We know why you're here, just to throw everything you have in everybody else's face. People who treat social media like a friend collecting pissing contest are immature as shit, flat out. Unless you're 16, that shit ain't cute, and it's not even cute if you are 16. Like I said in the beginning, these things aren't necessarily like, oh, this person's a high-level 100% confirmed narcissist, but If nothing else, acting these ways is super douchey. Number 4, they can do things you can't do. I hear a lot in narcissistic relationships and even in friendships that there seem to be rules for survivors to follow, but only one rule for a narcissist, and that is there are no rules. Toxic people will make you block others on social media for no reason. Toxic people will tell you who you can and can't talk to, yet they can do things like be friends with their exes, post provocative photos of themselves, and otherwise do whatever the hell they want. This goes beyond social media, so watch out for the double standard. If things are good for them, why aren't they good for you? More importantly, I want you to think about why as we go through this video and as you listen to more videos, mine and other people's as well. Why does this person need to do the things they're doing on social media? Who are they trying to please? What are they trying to prove? Why are they doing this? Or another question, why does this person want to control my social media usage? Why is there a double standard? Why is one of the most important questions you can ever ask yourself about anything. If you'd like help and support from a survivor on what you're going through, you can set up private one-on-one chats with me by emailing BookAChatWithJess@gmail.com. Number 5, too many selfies. Again, this is not like holy high-level narcissist Batman, but it goes to show a lot of vanity, and vanity is sometimes a gateway into other toxic traits. Things like a sense of entitlement, grandiosity, delusions of grandeur, which are all linked to narcissism. I think twice about people when I see 500 selfies of them in the exact same pose, doing the exact same thing. It's also very telling to me when someone has 100 selfies, but has in no way, shape, or form an interesting profile otherwise. Clearly, they haven't bothered to develop anything interesting about themselves that they can actually say online. It's all about how they look. It's extremely shallow behavior, and also a possibility that this could link to other toxic traits that are underneath and can't be seen just yet. And I'm not just talking about women either. I've seen these lame-o dudes with 50 pictures of them with their shirt off because they think there's some kind of hot shit. And then the profile will say, just ask me, I'm an open book. Wow, your supreme one-dimensionalness is super attractive. Number 6, they never want to meet. Holy huge red flag, Batman, especially if you live super close. If you're an hour away or less, what the fuck is the actual holdup? Some toxic people just collect sources of supply online and they have no intention of meeting. When you're talking with somebody and they seem really interested in you, but they don't want to meet, there's a why there, and it's a pretty big one. Yet, they can send you 200 texts a day. And when this happens, you are what's called a void filler. Don't feel bad. I've been a void filler more than I'd like to admit over the course of my lifetime. Some toxic people and narcs just want to use you for an ego boost, someone to talk to when they're bored. If they don't want to meet you, you're not the primary source of supply. I don't care how much you think you are, because I know I'm going to hear about it in the comments. If you are not meeting face to face, you are not the primary source of supply. They are texting you and doing all this stuff while they are sitting on the couch beside their spouse. A lot of people get caught in this trap with long-distance relationships. There's no active plan to meet. There are consistent excuses, and it is nothing but red flags. I have a whole video on long-distance stuff. I'll throw it at the end of the video. Number 7, the blocking game. Oh, how narcissists and toxic, immature children just love to block on social media. I have a video that talks more about blocking as well. I will link that at the end of the video, but short and sweet here, blocking is punishment. Narcs have a few different ways they do punish people, but the most common thing for a covert narcissist to do is to block you on social media. When someone is blocking and unblocking back and forth, it's a very clear lack of maturity. Every time you get mad or have a disagreement with somebody, blocking is not how you behave. They're trying to cause you to freak out, panic, and reach out desperately for them. Unfortunately, a lot of times it works, and that's exactly what happens. Some other signs of toxicity and possible narcissism online include things like their profiles still seeming like they're single even after you're in a relationship, having more than one account on a platform if they have multiple Instagram accounts or Facebook accounts, for example, if they're on several dating sites, even after you all are together, or on the same dating app that you all met on, even after you're together. They deactivate accounts and get new ones frequently. They stalk you online. They post misleading things about themselves or others. Social media seems to be one of the most important things in their life. That's a huge red flag. Pay attention when someone is more interested in the world online than the world going on around them. Also, a huge red flag is if they seem as if they are addicted to social media. If you can talk to them about being online so much and they give you a very nasty reaction, that's also a very big red flag when you confront them on, hey, you seem to have your nose in your phone more than we're ever doing anything together. Big red flags sometimes. So tell me in the comments the red flags that you know about how to spot a narcissist online. Please subscribe if you haven't. I'm working hard to get to 100,000 subscribers, and if you did, it would really mean a lot to me. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, Survivor, and take care of yourself.